Daphne and the keepers may run this place officially, but it's the elephants who are really in charge. For example, when a new keeper is hired, he's on probation for 3 months. Then, if the elephants like him, he's got a job. If not, he's out. What do you try to teach them?
Well, we have to teach them not to be naughty, not to push around with the others, to obey one another, just like you have to do to your children, your own children, to respect the others.
And the keepers teach the elephants how to be elephants. There are wild elephant things these kids don't know how to do. Mother wasn't around to teach them. Things like covering themselves in dust to prevent sunburn.
The keepers do it with shovels until the elephants pick it up themselves.
The orphanage has an infirmary, and the doctor has a call to make. One of the elephants is not doing well at all. He's been on antibiotics for 2 days now, but he can barely breathe.
All this froth that's coming out of his trunk has got to be pulmonary edema.
His room looks like an intensive care unit. The doctor, Daphne, and the keepers don't leave him for a minute. They do everything they can, but it's not enough. By dawn, he is dead. How do you manage going through this all the time?
Well, you don't have much option, do you? There's another one to look after, and then another one coming, and, you know, you just have to turn the page.
And you get attached
But
after
I'm not very good at it.
And you're not going to get any better, are you?
No. Not after 50 years.
But then you go and you hang out with the orphans who are doing so well, and it brings joy to your life.
Absolutely.
It's actually a pretty lush life for these elephants here at the orphanage, but it's not the life of a wild elephant. It's not their destiny. So like any good school, this place prepares its students to leave, to get ready for life in the real world, to go back to the wild from whence they came.
This young lady left Daphne's orphanage to go live in the wild. Her name is Mpenzi, and a couple of years ago, she became pregnant and decided to go off on her own to give birth, without the protection of her extended family. That was a mistake. Before the sun could set, Mpenzi and her baby were surrounded by a pride of 16 lions. Keeper Joseph Soni was called to the scene and captured the events on his still camera.
So Mpenzi was standing there trying to scare off lions with a trunk.
Yeah.
But when they came, she tried to push them on this side, others come at the back.
Mpenzi didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
How did you and the other keepers react?
It was so sad. In fact, everybody was crying.
And there was nothing they could do to save the baby. It was a brutal lesson for Mpenzi. Nature has its own laws. They're a long way from the sheltered world of the orphanage. But this story has a happy ending. Just days before we arrived, Mpenzi gave birth to another little girl. The keepers have all come out to cheer her on. They named her Asante, which in Swahili means thank you. Mpenzi has learned her lesson. This time she makes sure her bundle of joy is surrounded by other members of the family. They help her up when she falls down and rescue her when she tumbles into a mud hole. So for the moment, Asante will be safe, at least until she grows tusks.